Santiago Gimenez could be on his way to the Premier League. Fabrizio Romano just reported that Nottingham Forest have sent a $33 million bid to Feyenoord, and that includes all of the add-ons. It looks like he wants to move. It's just up to the two clubs to sort out the contract details and the transfer details. Just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it. He's a Mexican international, left-footed, 23 years old, scored 23 goals in the Eredivisie last season, finishing third in the scoring charts or in the scoring table. He's a good player. He's a solid striker. People are criticizing him right now because he's going to go from Champions League football to the relegation battle in the Premier League. Obviously, Nottingham Forest barely just saved themselves at the end of last season. They look like they're trying to do a little bit of a rebuild. And if you look at their team, they have some good players. So ideally for Santi Gimenez, he would be replacing Chris Wood, the New Zealand international, up top as a center forward. Underneath him, he would have Callum Hudson-Odoi, Morgan Gibbs-White, and Anthony Elanga. So those three players underneath, I think, are going to give him a lot of opportunities, a lot of good delivery and service into the box. If I was to explain what Santi Gimenez brings as a player, at least on the club side, because I don't think he's performed as well for the Mexican national team, he's got a similar style to Erling Haaland. Now, quality, ability, obviously nowhere near Erling Haaland, but the way that he plays the game is very similar. He's a strong forward. He's good with his back to goal, holding off players. He only needs a little bit of space to get the shot off. The added dimension that I think he has that's slightly different is he can also get the ball at the edge of the box, cut in, and shoot on his left foot. He scored many goals like that. He's a very hard-working forward, one of those players that's going to press. He's going to make the forward runs. He's going to be, in my opinion, a very difficult threat for a lot of Premier League teams. Now, I think he's probably going to struggle against some higher-level opposition. If we're talking about Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City's defense, I think that's where he's not going to be as effective. But I do think this is a quality signing for Nottingham Forest where they're not breaking the bank. $33 million is very inexpensive these days, at least. So they're not breaking the bank, but they are trying to build something that's going to keep them in the Premier League for this season. And I think if they do manage to sign him, if they do manage to pull it off, as he replaces Chris Wood with those three underneath, I think he's going to be a solid player that the reason that they're bringing him in is because he's going to get you goals. That's the biggest one. Is Chris Wood, I don't think, is going to get you as many goals as Santi Gimenez. And he's so young right now. He's 23 years old that he's still got plenty of time to hit his prime. He's still not at his prime right now. I think he's on the come up, but some experience in the Premier League, I think, is going to really put him in a good spot. So I think it's fantastic business for Nottingham Forest. If they can manage to pull it off, I think they're going to have to probably go a little bit higher than $33 million with all of the add-ons and things like that. But I think they're signing a quality player that many clubs are currently overlooking. And I think part of the reason is because obviously he plays over in the Netherlands where, there's not as many eyes on that league. Quality isn't as good as the Premier League. And for the Mexican national team, he hasn't performed as well as people would have hoped considering all the goals that he was scoring at Feyenoord. So I think a lot of clubs are overlooking him, but I think what he brings to the table is going to be very helpful for Nottingham Forest. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Is it a good move? Should he be sacrificing Champions League football for a potential relegation battle? Or is this going to elevate his career to a similar status of where Chicharito was and Raul Jimenez were when they were in their prime in the Premier League? So let me know in the comment section down below, but very, very exciting move for any Mexican national team fans because that's what you want from your players, to play in the best leagues and some of the best teams. And I think he's got an opportunity to at least do one of those two. Let me know.